Welcome back to Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. My name is Crow, and today we have a new story for you called King Philip's Time Travel by Tabs Killer. King Philip is one of the loyal warriors we have ever known. If he has problems facing against opponents such as Larry's evil brothers, he calls an army or crow to help him, and I get to place units. Well, I guess we get to start by placing units. Hold on, I don't have a limit? I don't know what these fire things are, but they look really cool. They're part of the Stalingrad 3 mod, and I get to actually place them, and it's so cool. Also, before we get started, hold on. King Philip is one of the most loyal warriors that we ever have known. And what do you mean, Larry's evil brothers? And since when does King Philip get the god Crow on his side? I think our storyteller was a little confused. Regardless, let's see these awesome Ignis swords go in and fight. They leap in, and they're like, oh, look at the purple fire. Look at the pink fire. That is so cool. So they are on fire, and they light others on fire, and they turn them pink when they die. That's different. I've never seen that before. This is the first time. Oh no! King Philip has been lit on fire by his own people, his own units. And there's a lot of Larry's evil brothers. Hold on. No, we can't lose. I'm not used to helping King Philip here, but I can't let you guys win this fight. I'm sorry. Those things are so cool. And they're killing themselves, it seems. One day, King Philip faces one of the most dangerous faction he has ever met, Da Vinci. But luckily, he has ballistas to take on Da Vinci and General John and Rocky for distraction. In goes the enemy armies. All of these units, look at these horse units moving in, just converging on all of these blue melee units. Da Vinci is here with his massive cannons, firing boulder after boulder at the poor defenseless horses. What do those horses ever do to you, Da Vinci, aside from the fact to try to kill you? But that's beside the point. It seems we have a lovely knight in here on top of Da Vinci, but he's being distracted and kind of disabled by a balloon. More knights are moving in on the ranged units. Oh, you know what? At first I was going to help the ranged units or destroy the ranged units, but look at all those archers over there. Once those archers catch wind of these musketeers, here we go. Arrows are firing. Musketeers are going down. Da Vinci seems to be one of the few people left alive, fending off melee unit after melee unit. King Philip is in, all these knights are in, and Da Vinci is defeated. Later, as King Philip flees with Benny and General Rocky, the enemies ambush and surround them. They need to call their friends to help. You can only use the medieval faction. Oh boy. So according to my restrictions, I can use catapults, priests, and executioners. Oh, and cavalry. Oh, I use cavalry. That's all we need. This is fine. This is fine. It's just a bunch of... Oh, look at the cavalry do a weird 180. That was crazy. Oh, the poor bandits are being run over with the cavalry. And now the cavalry is just... They're lunging around like crazy, trying to get these halberd units, trying to get Da Vinci's units. I may have summoned a little bit too many cavalry units, but hey, it's all good. I'm a god. I can do what I want. When King Philip and Benny hid so no one could find them, the harpooners sucked them into a whirlpool. Check this out. There's harpooners in the water. I've never seen someone try to do this. Place harpooners here on this rock. Some of them are going to drown, but some of them are going to harpoon King Philip and poor Benny. King Philip fell into the water, and Benny was dragged into the water, and we declare victory on poor Benny. I'm so sorry, Benny. After entering the whirlpool, it seemed that they traveled to 1066, where the Battle of Stamford Bridge took place. King Philip needs reinforcements and strategies to beat King Harold Hardrada. So apparently we need strategies. Guys, the author, the storyteller was telling us that we need a strategy to defeat King Harold Hardrada because we have King Philip and poor Benny, and oh, I accidentally revealed my whole plan, which was 3 rows of tree giants, including a tree giant on top of a tree with a giant head, so I thought that'd be funny. The tree giants are my quote-unquote strategy of defeating King Harold Hardrada, and all these tree giants clubbing each other to try and get to the poor Vikings. That was so mean. Later, the trio travel to the Stone Age, where they see Manny the Mammoth being hunted by spears. They need to think carefully if they need to choose an army or crow. And you know what? They chose an army. So we have these guys, and they're hunting Manny the Mammoth. And you gotta be careful, right? Because Manny the Mammoth does not come alone. Manny the Mammoth comes with friends. Not only does he come with friends, he comes with friends that climb in the trees. Because did you not know that mammoths are great tree climbers? Well, now you know. Not only the great tree climbers, they're great mountain climbers, and not only that, they also like to do breakdancing. This is a breakdancing mammoth in a tree. Look at him go. Breakdancing. Oh, he was. And then he stopped. Now all the mammoths come out of the trees that they climbed and move in to protect Manny the mammoth, who is leading the charge. King Philip get a whole bunch of spears in his chest, but there are so many mammoths, some of them stuck in trees, some of them not stuck in trees, some of them on the ground, some of them just coming in and destroying every single travel unit in the game. That's a lot of mammoths. Meanwhile, General Rocky and General John search for King Philip and Benny. They're both dragged into the whirlpool. So here we are again, a whole bunch of harpooners, a bajillion harpooners. How are these harpooners here able to stand on this rock? I did not know that was possible. And there are our generals being harpooned into the water. General Rock is getting the worst of it, being dragged down the rock face. Harpooners falling in. General John is dead. General Rocky being stretched in multiple directions, being hind and quartered. Oh, brutal. After General Rocky and John landed in the Stone Age, they reunite with King Philip and Benny. We have to stay together, otherwise we will be lost or in trouble, said Rocky. Out of nowhere, Chieftain Ooga Booga and Charlie surrounded them. Philip calls his noble squires and archers to defend him. Not Chieftain Ooga Booga. Over here we have Chieftain. Oh, all those spear throwers got wrecked. Chieftain Ooga Booga is moving in against the squire, gets destroyed, and then Chieftain Charlie is here against King Philip, also gets destroyed. King Philip's got quite the army, guys. The Shaman of Crowism declares a meeting with the squires of King Philip and Larry about the disappearance of him. We shall sacrifice his healer in order to pray for the return of the two, said the shaman. And I see, there's Larry. He's not disappeared. I don't know why it was a vampire here. But apparently there's a vampire here, and then some squires, and then the sacrificial healer over top of the fire. That's kind of mean. Our heroes later time travel to the Roman Empire's 6th century BC, where General Rocky tells them that maybe someone can help them to get back home. Unfortunately, they were intercepted by Leonidas and Zeus. Since their army's not enough, Philip needs help. Apparently, all I could summon were catapults and priests, so I summoned all the catapults you could ever go. Oh my god, that was so many catapults. I should have slowed that down. I should have showed you guys that in slow-mo. Look at these rocks go against Zeus. Get destroyed, Zeus. Here they come. Kaboom! Oh my god. That was cool. After the time travel exhaustion, they landed in the Old French, where they were later barricaded by the musket leader in the middle, Napoleon. What should they do? Apparently I'm only allowed to summon the catapults once more. It is the only unit I am allowed to summon, so the catapults shall launch on their friends and destroy the front line of Napoleon and his units. And apparently Napoleon is a musketeer. Usually he's more of a short Frenchman. I would make him one of those guys with a beret, maybe a painter. It would be Napoleon, but instead we are going to use the catapults on the musketeers. King Philip with his gargantuan sword come in with a great slash. And now there is only one musketeer. Great shot by the musketeer. However, those are great big rocks. Why am I talking like that? They seek help from Artemis and ask her if she can take them to where they go home, and she accepted the offer. So it seems that our time-traveling companions are getting the help of Artemis to get them back home. Artemis brings them to the edge of the world, where it's guarded by the alpha levels we know. King Philip needs to call for help for his friends. Why are there so many units? Look at the size of this battlefield. Oh, those barrel rats. Oh my god, I gotta rush back to my army. I summoned a whole bunch of catapults because, again, the only units apparently I can summon. And now these armies are running free. Catapults are launching deep into the depths of this blue army. King Philip and General Rocky are here. There's a lot of blue armies here. So I'm going to assist with the destruction of this enemy army because, my goodness, there's just so much blue. I mean, look at these guys. There's another row of enemies here. Allow me to have a little bit of fun. Beautiful destruction. It's almost like art. It's almost like music. It's almost like painting. It's almost like sculpting. It's just beauty, which is not in the eye of the beholder. It's just my eye. Let's go over here. We have one more row of units. Look at all these units. It's just paint the pretty picture. The pretty picture of death, destruction, and mayhem. Goodbye, units. Everything is better in slow-mo. Literally everything is better in slow-mo. Now we have a handful of units still alive. Whole boatload of allied catapults. There's something going on over here in the distance. There seems to be a blue unit alive with an apple over his head. He declares combat on the red units, but I disagree. And there is another apple thrower, apple over his head, declaring war on the red team. And I disagree. There was the last one. After defeating the alpha units, Artemis takes them to the edge where they meet the Candleheads. They fear that they may fall to their death, but Artemis tells them it's only the way back. So the four close their eyes as they fell to the portal. So it seems like our heroes are being candle-headed off the map, as this is the only way they can get back to the real world by falling off the map of the Dream Domain. They finally reach back to the medieval world where they were incepted by angry farmers. King Philip needs to use strategy they learned back in time. So hold on, strategy that they learned back in time. If I take my harpoon power as a god here, and I just grab the ankles of all these farmers and I take them for a little trip. Oh, I can't see. I can't see. Okay, there we go. Hey, there's all the farmers. As I send them in every direction. There. The harpoons work. Welcome back, said the squires as they hugged King Philip. We're lucky to have you guys back because Major Hawk has taken over with Bernard von Bernard and betrayed us. King Philip, with General Rocky, John, and Benny, uses his technology and strategy to face them. King Philip reaches deep into the Dark Realm and pulls out Dark Peasants. New and improved Dark Peasants who will destroy everything in the... Oh my goodness. Oh, that was a bad idea. Oh my god. After an extraordinary battle, Major Hawk challenges the four. King, it is your final destination, said Major Hawk. Here is Major Hawk versus a couple of knights, the king and Mr. Benny. And it seems like the knights and King Philip, after such a triumphant battle using pretty much cheating Dark Peasants, are now going to defeat General Hawk and the last of his armies, nowhere near as powerful as the Knights of Crow and King Philip himself. After a duel challenge, Major Hawk gathered all of his forces to join the alliance to fight King Philip. King Philip needs to use his strategy he uses during time travel. My strategy is a boatload of cavalry to charge in and confuse the enemy ranks. The sheer number of horse units. I don't care if you're Zeus. I don't care who you are. This many cavalry is going to cause a destructive amount of mayhem in the back lines, and the front lines and the mid lines, and it literally just overruns their entire army. There's just so many horse. There's so many cavalry. There's nothing Blue can do except defeat. King Philip has returned back to his place, and his medieval kingdom has been restored. What do you think of my campaign? What campaign should I do next? That was a ton of fun. Thank you so much for that really cool story.